Test, test, test. Testing the audio. All right, looks like we live. Hey, shalom, shalom. Before we start this lesson, I want to give honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Pradash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful elect that are out there diligently pushing His word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, it's your brother Kazak Tezabah coming at you once again through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shnel Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, straight and to the point. So, as you can see, the title of the lesson, stock market will eventually crash. Just give it some time, okay? Just give it some time, man, because what just happened up over there in Japan, all right, there was a buyout or a sellout. It's a buyout, Salaki, where they was pretty much their it's a whole bunch of jargon in terms of the financial sector, but needless to say, what's going on over there is affecting their economy. Okay, it's affecting their economy, and a lot of people that has major investments, okay, are pulling out. Okay, in other words, their yen, which is their form of currency, all right, is starting to devalue, and a lot of people who, when you convert the yen to a dollar, and then you try to exchange it back, you make profit. Well, that's how it used to be, but now, because their rates fluctuated and went down, okay, people are losing money, and in fact, their investments, they have to, pretty much pay more out, all right, just to break even. So what a lot of people are doing in other countries or other places that have major investments like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, Apple, Amazon, things like that, people are taking that money out, all right, to pretty much pay off their paying off their loan, essentially. Okay, paying off what they owe. Okay, because people are selling, they're getting rid of their stuff, man. Their stocks. Okay, and from this morning, I looked at the stock market, and it's completely red. This morning when I was going into the plantation, everything was red. I had the little the stock app on my iPhone. Everything is still red. You go down far enough, the Dow Jones, okay, is down. Let's see, from the day today, from this morning, and I think the stock market opens up at I want to say 6 o'clock. Is it 6 o'clock over here? 9 o'clock? I can't remember. But anyways, they're down 1,000 points. Okay, so people are taking their money out of these major index funds. S&P 500 from the day is down 160 points, right? So a lot of people are pulling out, man. Okay, but when you look at things such as precious metals, gold, silver, things like that, it's going up. You know what I mean? For instance, that was gold. This is silver. It's in the green. They're up 19 cents. But from the week, they're still down. But just from the day itself. So people are taking out and trying to buy, invest into precious metals and things of that nature. But the sad thing about it is these people don't have a clue, all right? And that they think that just because, you know, they convert their funds and their resources, their currency into you know, precious metals and tangibles, all right, that that's going to deliver them, well, or that's going to protect them. But it's not, okay? Eventually, this whole thing is going to come crashing down, okay? So I do want to shine some light on a couple articles that I had come across. We'll start with the one from Zero Hedge, and I'll just read the headline and then jump to the point. It says, Black Monday, futures plummet as as I don't know the numerology, but it's like a VIX. I don't know what that is. I think that's like, I don't even know. It says, Japan suffers worst point drop in history. Okay. It says the NASDAQ 100 is set for its biggest opening drop in more than 4 years as investors bracing for days of volatility amid rising concerns over a slowing U.S. economy and overheated gains in tech sectors. Okay, so the NASDAQ 100 is dropping as well. It says, meanwhile, S&P 500 futures were down 3.0%. The Dow Jones average decline 1.6. Okay, it says the highest print since the C19 crash when it peaked just over 80. Let's just get to the point. It says worst ever daily sell-off on Monday, losing 4,451.28 points from the previous day's closing. All right, hey, it's dropping, it's plummeting, man. Let me get straight to the point, to the meat. I know I keep saying that, but this is a good article, man. Where is it? I had saw it and I wanted to speak on it. Okay, here we go. It says the sell-off was the largest ever in history and worse than in Black Monday crash of 1987. So apparently this had happened before. Okay, hey, there's nothing new under the sun. So the fact that, you know, it happened once before, you almost guarantee that it's going to happen again. All right, just like there was a Great Depression back in, I want to say, the early 1920s. Okay, hey, we're due for another one, right? It's been 100 years now. All right, so it's not if, but when the stock market crash, all hell is about to break loose, man. Okay, people are saying, you know, by the end of this quarter, all right, we're really going to start to see the effects. By the end of this quarter and next quarter, we're really going to see the effects of this declining society. It says, worse than the Black Monday crash of October of 1987 when it lost 3,836.48 points, okay, which is 1,000 points less, right, than the one that just happened today. It says the average closed down 12.4 to 31. It says on a percentage basis, it was much better, with the Nikkei's peer topics tumbling 12.2. It's the biggest one-day drop since 1987 stock market crash and the second worst day since data begins in 1949. The index is poised for its biggest 3-day drop on record. Okay, so the point of the matter is, you know, the conversion, all right, the people who invest in foreign exchange, who do forex trading and things like that, all right, they're taking a loss, man, a huge loss. Okay, and those things are affecting these U.S. markets, okay, such as Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google. Okay, they're all down. All right, the biggest one that's down is the NVDA. I don't know what that is, which is negative 9.3. Apple's down negative 8.6. Tesla's down negative 7.4. Okay, so on and so forth. It says Apple stock is also being hurt after Berkshire Hathaway reported on Saturday that it has slashed its stake in the company by almost 50% as a part of the massive second quarter selling spree. Okay, hey man, this place is done, man. Okay, and Esau knows of it, man. They know that this shit is done for, right? Now, this is another article from SHTF Plan, and it reads, Wall Street is starting to freak out about the horrendous state of the U.S. economy. Okay, so even Wall Street, all right, these big top, financial analysts, techie, learning charts. I think some of the charts are technical analysis and fundamental analysis, which fundamental is more, I think, is more of just paying attention to the current events and things like that and making judgment calls based off of that. The technical analysis is, looking at charts, okay, looking at, trending lines, and, they mark up their charts and they see what's coming down the pipe or what's the history of it. And it happens, and it keeps cycling through. Okay, it's almost predictable, right? But the fact that they're freaking out says a lot. Okay, it says on Thursday, Wall Street responded to the Fed's inaction by throwing a bit of a temper tantrum. At one point, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 744 points, and it closed the session down 494 points. All right. It says many still believe the Fed will give us a rate cut in September, but there are others that are concerned that the Feds may not be acting quickly enough to keep America's job market in good shape. So not only is, are people going to be losing, investments, losing money and things of that nature, okay? People are going to be losing their jobs, man. All right? That's why in the scriptures, it talks about how the grindings shall cease. Okay, because people are going to be out here, without jobs as well, man. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3. And it reads, In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Okay, and when you go, the grinders is in other words, if you could, just imagine a worker, being, in the lumber yard, or being in a factory, okay, being in a working environment, right? All that stuff is going to come to a halt, okay? Because you think about it, these companies, these major companies that have, X amount of money, or funding for their employees. Okay, they're not going to match or meet that quota. All right, so them losing money, that means they're going to have to cut a lot of their employees. And the fact that everything is going digital, a lot of these jobs are being taken by robots. Digital things. Artificial intelligence. A lot of people are losing jobs that way, man. It says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at a voice of the bird, and all the daughters of the music shall be brought low. Okay, so hey, people are going to be in a mourning state, in a mourning condition, man. Okay, because they can't work. All right, and if you can't work, you can't eat, right? Because now you're trying to figure out ways to trade. Okay, now you're trying to figure out ways to make money. Okay, so you can go and buy food. All right, but how it all ties in, Esau has a system in place, man. This is all a part of his plan, his agenda. Okay, so it makes the average person more willing to go after Egypt. Okay, it's more inclining for the average person to want to go to the government. All right, to gain some assistance. All right, financial assistance, benefits, healthcare, things of that nature. You see, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, man. This is it's going to get far worse because you still got to factor in the pestilence and the diseases that are going to start spreading. Okay, people don't. You got to factor martial law. Okay, chaos and riots in the street while people are out here hungry and suffering. You see, this thing is There's a broad range of judgment that's going to take place on the earth, man. And people are not prepared. Okay, you know, through the Spirit, man. I was just at work. I was at work, and it was a Jake. Okay, that I asked him, you know, just briefly, hey, you got any investments? You know, any investments that are, you know, in crypto, you know, Bitcoin, Apple, Amazon, all those things. And he was like, you know, a little bit. And I was like, hey, it might be a, you know, smart decision to go ahead and pull out. And he was like, for what? He was like, I saw something I got a notification on my phone talking about something, but I wasn't really paying attention. And see, with that attitude and that mentality, this shit is gonna catch a lot of people off guard, man, because people just don't have a clue. They're so blinded and consumed with things that means nothing. You see? So just like how he knew nothing about it, now granted, I know just a little bit. You know, I don't even know a lot. Like I'm just learning it based off of what I've been reading. And you know, a while back, I had an interest in learning the stock market. You know, never really got into it. I made a few investments back in the day, but I pulled out because when you realize that this shit really don't matter, you invested in brick and mortar, and it's just going to crash anyway. So I was like, you know what, let me just get my money up out of here, man. It's kind of pointless. All right. So that same attitude that one Jake had at the plantation is the same attitude that a lot of our people have now, man, where they have no clue, nor do they even care to know what the hell is going on around the world. All right. Not knowing that what's going on over there in Japan, okay, can affect the economy and things that are taking place here, right? But they be like, oh, well, if it don't affect me directly, then, you know, I don't really care about it. I got news for you, man. Hey, it's going to affect you either way, whether directly or indirectly, unless you have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So let me just get a couple precepts through the Spirit, man. All right, so I'm gonna read in the Slakia, the GNT. All right, the good news. Right, I'm gonna bring out Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse. I'm gonna read from 12 down to verse 20, and it reads. It says, "The time is coming, the day is near, when buying and selling will have no more meaning." It says, because the Most High's punishment will fall on everyone alike. See, the day is near when buying and selling will have no more meaning. So people aren't going to be out here buying and selling like how they are now. Okay? You know, people that got businesses and things of that nature, right? Selling stuff, right? Stores, and that's going to be a thing of the past, man. People are going to be more focused on figuring out ways to trade. All right, they're going to be trying to figure out ways to hustle and to you know, pretty much it's going to come to a point where it's what do you have to offer? What can you do for me and my family, right? And if you can't do nothing for me, then, you know, hey, on to the next. So that's how it's going to be. It's going to come to a point where it's going to be like back in the 1800s, man, where if you don't have a skill or a trait, if you didn't know how to farm, if you didn't know how to, you know, plant your own crops, your own goods, if you didn't know how to sew, if you didn't know how to you know, do steel, you know, make steel and like hammers and you know, nails and tools and things like that, you know, you were useless. No one had any use of you. Therefore, people would just be bums, you know, just homeless, or without a trade, you know. So how many people can you say here in this side right now has an actual trade? How many people can you say if it came down to it, that if they had to go to the woods, right, could they make themselves a shelter, man? You know, something as simple as making shelter for themselves. You see, not too many people can say that, right? How many people you know how to make a fire, or what's used to make fires? You may not even have to go out there and do the wood and to put the piece of wood on the thing with the wood on top and do it like this. And there's other ways to do it nowadays, man. But how many people you know how to do that? How many, if the lights go out, how many people know how to fucking make a candle, right? There's ways. I mean, the scriptures go into, let me get Proverbs. Okay? Because if you know what times we're coming in, man, we should at least have some basic level of knowledge when it comes to knowing things, man. Right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Well, how is the prudent man foreseeing the evil? Okay? By paying attention to the signs. Let me get that word prudent real quick. And these are the signs that the Lord has been giving us, man. Okay? Why you think he let us know? Why you think he let us know over 2,000 years ago? Because he knew that this day was coming. And how many people are actually prepared? Not too many, right? Now, granted, it says, wait, hold on. Yeah, so when you go into the word prudent, Irawam is the word in Hebrew. It says subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, sensible. All right, having sense, having some sense about you, man. Okay, not too many people have sense. Common sense ain't so common these days, man. You know, paying attention. That's being prudent, and you seeing scriptures go into how you got to be circumspect. Okay, what does it mean to be circumspect, man? Circum meaning circumspect, spectacle, your eyes. I mean, in other words, paying attention to what the hell is going on around you, man. Right? But in knowing so, people are you got to prepare yourselves. Both first and foremost, most important is spiritually. Okay, by knowing these scriptures. Okay, wisdom and knowledge is going to keep us stable in that day. Having faith in Yahweh Shema Shah is what's going to sustain us. All right, but it doesn't hurt to learn basic crafts. Okay, learn basic skills. Okay, because we may have to uproot and just bounce, man. May have to leave all our possessions and everything behind and hit the woods somewhere. Okay, you know. But not too many people are thinking like that, okay? Because they're in a form, they're comfortable, okay? They're comfortable. So let's get back to Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 13. No merchants will live long enough to get back what they have lost, because the Most High's anger is on everyone. Those who are evil cannot survive. The trumpet blows and everyone gets ready, but no one goes off to war. For the Most High's anger will fall on everyone alike. Okay, it says for those who are evil cannot survive. Right? They're not going to survive, man. They're not going to make it. Okay, talked about how in Jeremiah 15 and 2, and it shall come to pass, if they shall say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as for death to death, and such as for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. Okay? Death, sword, famine, captivity, all harsh punishments, man. Harsh judgments that the Lord is setting out. Okay? He's assigning people these judgments. Okay? As we speak. All right? It says, Ezekiel 7 and 15 in the GNT, there is fighting in the streets and sickness and hunger in the houses. Anyone who is out in the country will die in the fighting, and anyone in the city will be a victim of sickness and hunger. You see? So the pestilences, the famine, right? There's a food shortage. Okay? Why you think, and really it's not even a food shortage. It's just a food shortage that Esau has orchestrated to prevent food from going into these grocery stores. And the food that are getting into these grocery stores, what they do is hike up the prices, okay? Because there's scarcity, right? There's no scarcity. They're just preventing the flow and the production, all right, to get to these stores, You know, whether that's with the farms, the farmers, okay, the truckers, the trucks that have to do the shipping. Okay, this is all being orchestrated from the inside, man. All right. It says, verse 16, some will escape to the mountains like doves frightened from their valleys. All of them will moan over their sins. Everyone's hand will be weak and their knees will shake. They will put on sackcloth and they will tremble all over. Their heads will be shaved and they will all be disgraced. They will throw their gold and silver away in the streets like garbage, because the silver nor gold can save them when the Lord pours out his fury. So just as it says, that even their gold and their silver is not going to save them. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's you going off by having some of these things, but as long as you understand and realize that these things aren't going to deliver you, man, you're good, you know. But the moment you put your faith, okay, and trusting in things that was created, okay, and the things that were also used to make of idols and things of that nature, you're putting those things, making those idols, thinking that those things are going to save you when they're not. And it goes into that right here. It says they cannot use it to satisfy their desires or fill their stomachs. Gold and silver led them into sin. Once they were proud of their beautiful jewels, they used them to make disgusting idols. This is why the Lord has made their wealth repulsive to them. You see? This is why the Lord makes their wealth repulsive to them. So even these wealthy, rich people, okay, you know, they're not gonna. They don't need money like that. You know, when you're in a position at a high level, money really don't mean nothing to you. Okay, at this point, now you have a reputation. Now you have status. Okay, you have a name about yourself, right? You know, you think in when all hell breaks loose, you know, the LeBron James, Kanye West, the Beyonces, you think they're gonna be out here just exchanging money and things of that nature in these bunkers? More than likely not. Okay, because there's gonna be no use of it. Now I'm sure that there's gonna be different forms. You know, possibly, you know, they may even make them take the MOTB. You know, who knows? Okay, probably more than likely. You know, because everybody's gonna be tried. You know, but gold and silver, all right, the exchange of tangibles is going to be a thing of the past, man. Okay, and another one I want to read is in the GNT is Habakkuk. All right, because this is that thick clay, man, that heavy debt, all right, that this place has accumulated. Okay, Habakkuk chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, wealth is deceitful. Greedy people are proud and restless. Like death itself, they are never satisfied. That is why they conquer nation after nation for themselves. The conquered people will taunt their conquerors and show their scorn for them. They will say, you take what isn't yours, but you are doomed. How long will you go on getting rich by forcing your debtors to pay up? But before you know it, you that have conquered others will be in debt yourselves and be forced to pay interest. So the scripture is going to say how, you know, you're going to be forced, okay, to pay interest. And how is it that they're going to pay interest? Through slavery, man. Okay, because they're going to have to pay back all the shit that they've done to Jake. Okay, everything that they've done to the Lord's chosen people. Okay, they touched the apple of his eye. Okay, they touched, you know, the holy nation. You see, so they're going to have to serve their punishment, okay, or honor that interest, okay, by serving us for 1,000 years in the kingdom. Okay, it says, enemies will come and make you tremble. They will plunder you. You will have plundered the people of many nations. But now those who have survived will plunder you because of the murders you have committed and because your violence against the people of the world and its cities. You see? It says, but now those who have survived will plunder you. Right? And who is that referring to, man? That's referring to the elect. Okay, because when the Lord redeems His elect and delivers His people, okay, the same elect, that New Jerusalem, is going to be coming down, right, and going and hemming up all these Edomites, okay, and these so-called rich people, right? But they're losing, man. They're losing bad, man. Okay, and things are starting to really speed up. Okay, if you haven't noticed, when the apostles, okay, went real heavy on sending up, these curses upon Babylon, you see how things start to move. All right, things are really starting to pick up, man, and through the Spirit, it's a beautiful sight. It's beautiful to see how quickly everything is moving, and how destructive, all right, it's going to end up, and how it'll pan out. We're just sitting back watching the whole thing crash, man, knowing the outcome. Hey, the Lord is cold, man, and the fact that the Lord put that certain spirit on certain men, okay, to know these things before they happen, and just to sit there and watch it all unfold. Hey, man, there's no greater blessing, man. And that's that wisdom, that's that discernment. All right, the knowledge, the wisdom, understanding, that the Lord, bestowed upon us. Right. Habakkuk 2:8, it says, "You are doomed. You have made your family rich with what you took by violence, and have tried to make your own home safe from harm and danger. But your schemes have brought shame on your family by destroying many nations. You have only brought ruin on yourselves." Okay, and that's what's coming to these people, man. Wall Street, okay, these high level, top tier investors, okay, these so-called elites, all right, these wealthy, people in the entertainment industry, sports, music, influencers, all these people, man, okay, all these people about to feel the effects of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. So, and it's coming soon, right? So that was pretty much it, okay. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. And with that, I want to give honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, that belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful elect. And until next time, Shalom.